الحمد لله الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين، وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد الله ورسوله أرسله ربه بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ألا وإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. I bear witness that there is none worthy of our worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the seal of the prophets and the final messenger to all of humanity. Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, there is none to misguide, and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves astray, there is none to guide aright. We're trying to fix the mic, so hopefully by next Jummah, inshallah, the mic will be working fine. I know the echo and the feedback and the noise makes me sound like Donald Duck, but you know me, and this is not my voice. But anyway, we're working on it, inshallah. We started about a month ago to talk about marriage, everyone's favorite topic, but in some cases it's becoming a nightmare for some people. It's even becoming a nightmare for me because people come and they have issues and they ruin my life, they ruin my day. So they come to my office, they keep calling, sending emails, sending faxes, putting letters in bottles and throwing them in the ocean. I want a divorce. Everywhere, everyone is coming to me for divorce. Now, when I go to my house, I'm afraid if I open the fridge, someone is going to pop into my face. I want a divorce. You know, it's becoming a big problem, for people. And I started to talk about, the concept of marriage in Islam and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listed marriage as a ni'mah from Allah, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, and so on and so forth, and what you should look for in a marriage to have a successful relationship. And I said that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, yes, people marry for different reasons, men and women. Some look for beauty, some look for status, some look for money. But the Prophet ﷺ said, look for the deen. And this is even emphasized in the Quran, but sometimes we don't see it. But it is there to your face. And subhanAllah, this is one of the most amazing things, like about Surah Al-Baqarah. In the middle of Surah Al-Baqarah, there is the talk about marriage and about divorce. والمطلقات وإذا طلقتم النساء وإذا طلقتموهن والمطلقات يتربصن الطلاق مرتان. 3 pages talk about divorce. Divorce, marriage and divorce, and marriage problems and divorce and so on and so forth. And right to the middle of the 3 pages that talk about divorce, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى. What does salah have to do with marriage and divorce? These 2 ayat in the middle, they have absolutely nothing to do with marriage and divorce. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about zawaj and talaq, and in the middle he talks about salah? And when you look deep into it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in a subtle way, if your salah is genuine and it is sincere, you will have respect, you will treat your partner, your spouse with dignity, whether you are staying with them in the marriage or you are leaving them. إمساكم بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان. If you stay with them, stay with dignity. But if you divorce them with honor. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us subtly in Surah Al-Baqarah. And as I said before, I've been doing counseling for about 11 years now. Heart attacks and blood pressure all the time. People come, especially when they talk to you individually. Everyone is playing the victim, mashallah, the Oscars, oh, he hit me, he threw me out of the window, and all that stuff. And when you bring the other side, nothing of that sort happened, So you make sure that you talk to both at the same time, because the truth will come out. So I've seen, alhamdulillah, most marriages are successful, but there are some who have issues in the marriage. And sometimes, subhanallah, there's nothing wrong with either one, both are good, but they're not good for each other. Even the Sahaba gave divorce, right? And they were the best and the finest in the Muslim Ummah. But in some cases, if the deen is there, people have no respect for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, they have no respect for each other. right? And as I said, I've seen so many cases. 1 or 2 cases that I've come across. The brother will work hard day and night. He will buy the house in his wife's name, and as soon as all the payments are made, she files for divorce because she wants to take the house. It's in her name, and she kicks the brother out. On the other hand, I see a brother, for example, he just takes off. Takes off means he leaves the country, he goes somewhere else, he gets married, he starts another family, and he doesn't care about his first family anymore. They don't know where he is, he doesn't provide for them, nothing. So this is dhulm, right? This is dhulm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the relationship between husband and wife. He calls it وَأَخَذْنَ مِنْكُمْ مِيثَاقًا غَلِيظًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it a tremendous commitment. So people shouldn't take it lightly, right? As I mentioned last khutbah, I said the best way to have a successful marriage, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Rum, if you want the marriage to be successful, you have to have mawadda and rahmah. Love, respect, compassion, and mercy in the relationship. And I said the easiest way to achieve mawadda and rahmah is if you treat your wife the same way you like your own sister to be treated, and for the wife to treat her husband the same way she likes her own brother to be treated. This is fairness, right? But from what I have seen here and back home, I travel and I grew up in Egypt, and I've seen some cases from my travels. Like there was one brother, he didn't give his sister, her share of her inheritance from her father, but he fights with his in-laws, so his wife will take a share from her father. How is this fair? Another case, a brother will prevent his wife from visiting her family, and in the meantime he will fight with his sister's in-laws because they don't allow his sister to visit them. Come on, man. It's about fairness. Islam is all about fairness, right? لا تظلمون ولا تظلمون. You should not suffer injustice, and you should not inflict justice on others. And this is why Muhammad ﷺ, when he spoke about, when he was setting the standards for what to look for, your expectations in the marriage, he said, look for the deen. So as we said last time, if you marry someone with deen, you don't have to worry about halal and haram. You don't have to worry about why hijab is this, why we have to pray, and you don't have to deal with all these issues. If someone has deen, you don't have to worry about none of that, right? Because people come and I see the silly fights they have over nothing because the deen, the sabr, the hikmah is not there. So if the hikmah is not there, the deen is not there, the sabr is not there, then there is no guarantee from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And حتى سئل أعرابي عن شر النساء وكان ذا تجربة، يعني سألوه من أشر النساء أو شر النساء، فهو خلاصة كلامه اللي هي ليست عندها دين. وطبعا نفس الكلام ينطبق على الرجال، ما فيش تفرقة، هو نفس المواصفات هنا نفس المواصفات هنا. One Arabi, a Bedouin, was asked about the worst spouse, the worst person he can marry to. And he said, in a nutshell, the one who does not have deen. They don't have a good relationship with Allah, they don't have respect for Allah, and they don't have respect for the spouse, the other side in the relationship. فقال شرهن التي تدفن الحسنات وتنشر السيئات تعين الزمان على بعلها ولا تعين بعلها على الزمان إن دخل خرجت وإن خرج دخلت إن ضحك بكت وإن بكى ضحكت بيتها مزبول وطفلها مهمول تبكي وهي ظالمة وتشهد وهي غائبة ابتلاها الله بالويل والثبور وعظائم الأمور. It says the worst person that you can marry is the one who buries good deeds. If you do something good to them, no mention. If you do one bad thing, broadcast and advertise. It's all over Facebook, it's all over the place. Everyone knows about what happened. When they don't support the challenge of the time of life, they don't support you against the challenges of life, they support the challenges of life against you. I got laid off, I don't have money. No, we need to buy this big house, we need to buy this big car, we need to go for vacation in Las Vegas. If you come in, they leave. And if you leave, they come in. If you have a hardship in life, you're crying, you're pulling your hair off. And this is why I see a lot of brothers know him. If you're crying, they're laughing, they're having a party. And if there is, happiness in the house, like you just graduated, you got some good business, she is crying, or he is crying, right? So every time there's something good, they don't share these positive feelings with you. If there is something terrible, someone died, the car broke down, something terrible happened, they don't feel your sadness. Abdullah ibn Rawaha, one day he was with his wife, and he started to cry. She cried. He said, okay, I know why I'm crying, but why are you crying? I didn't say anything. Why did you cry? She said, I saw you crying. I cried in solidarity with you. I don't know why you are crying, but I cried with you. He said, I remember the bridge, Sirat, between Jannah and Jahannam, and I started to think if I'll make it to the other side or I will fall down. This is the reason why I was crying. She said, I was crying in solidarity with you, although I didn't know why you are crying. Now a brother is in pain, he lost his job, terrible thing happened. He starts to cry. She was, I know from day one that you have some mental issues, I need to, talaq. We need to support each other in difficult times. So he said, if the person cries, the other one laughs. If this one laughs, the other one cries. The house is miserable. The kids are in a terrible situation because no one gives them time. They testify that some problem happened in the house, although they were not an eyewitness, right? And they cry, although they are at fault. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put hardship and like difficulty in their hearts, so they don't have feelings for what is going on in the house. In other words, they are out of touch. They don't have a good relationship with Allah, and they don't have a good relationship with the spouse. And as I said at the beginning, this applies to brothers and sisters. You can find it in both. So what you need to look for, if you didn't get married yet, or someone is proposing, or if you have kids, look for the deen. And even if someone has the deen, this is not a guarantee that they will not have challenges in the marriage. So say for example, you are marrying your neighbor, someone that you have known your whole life. You see them every day. Or a relative, your cousin, someone, right? You know them your whole life. This is not a guarantee that what you see in the street is what you will see inside your house. Because when you marry someone, the door is closed, you see different personalities. As I like to say, you sign for Fiona, you end up with Shrek. Something totally different, right? Because people have different personalities in public and in private. They're totally different, right? Some people, especially brothers, sorry to say, in the house, they're, yelling and, like a dragon in the house. They're fighting with everyone, chairs are flying, they're whatever. And with their friends, outside, mashallah, they're smiling, they are having a good time. And the same might apply to the sisters as well, because I don't want the brothers to get me after salah, So things happen, So even if you marry someone you already know, you will have challenges in life, right? And I always say, even if you know the person before marriage, the first 3 to 6 months are very challenging, because now you are trying to adjust to accommodate the other one. Both are good, but it takes time to accommodate the other person. Just like when you have Windows, you try to make Windows work with Apple, it will take some time to adjust the systems. Both are good. Both are good. It is even more challenging if you marry someone from outside your culture. Outside your culture. Because subhanAllah, as I said, with someone from your own culture who speaks the same language, your neighbor, you have known them your whole life, you will always find surprises about their personality, how they think, what they like, what they don't like, and so on and so forth. If you marry someone from outside your culture who speaks another language, and I'm not saying that interracial marriages are bad or anything. I've seen so many interracial marriages, they're very successful, but in some cases there are more challenges in the marriage. I'll give you one example. Even if a brother from an Arab country marries a sister from an Arab country, but from another country, they have issues because of the culture and because of the language. Say for example, if an Egyptian brother marries a Lebanese sister, just an example. They go to the store, she's buying some clothes, she got a very good deal, she got a very good bargain, they call it a steal. She got a very good bargain, right? A very good deal. When they are leaving, the husband will say to his wife, Inti nasha, right? In the Egyptian dialect, nasha means smart. In the Lebanese culture, it means fat. So he meant, you are very smart. From her end, he's saying, you are a big fat woman, right? They will have a fight, right? Same thing will happen if, say for example, a Yemeni brother marries an Egyptian sister. These are Arab countries. They all speak Arabic and they speak the language of the Quran, right? So say for example, if they marry, the husband will give his wife $500, $700 and say, is this enough as pocket money for the house? She will say, mashi. In the Egyptian dialect, mashi means okay. In the Yemeni dialect means this is not okay. So if she says mashi, from her end, it means yes, this is good, this is sufficient. From his end, it means this one greedy woman, I give her a lot of money and she says this is not enough. She didn't mean that, right? From the same culture. And if you marry someone from a totally different country who speaks a different language, say for example, a Canadian sister told me she got married to a brother from an Arab country, from North Africa, right? I'm not going to name the country. They do good mabakbaka, right? Mabakbaka and so on and so forth. So they got married here, they stayed together, then they went to visit his family in that country. Bahi? So while they were there, so while they were there, she said she was in her room in the second floor. Her husband, who was downstairs with his family, and they were talking, and their voice got loud. You know, in some cultures, when you talk, you are very loud. She thought that they were fighting. So when he came, she said, I was about to call the police. I thought you were fighting with your mom. And he said, no. I was just asking her to make some tea for us. And she said, yes, I will. Subhanallah, totally different culture. So again, it is the religion and the understanding and getting to know each other will make these issues go away. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best in this life and the best in the life to come. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله ربه رحمة للعالمين. So I'm going to kindly ask you to move forward because the people are waiting there. Jazakallah khairan. Move forward, please. So in the last 2 minutes of the life of this khutbah, I will talk about engagement because I always get questions and stuff. So once you find the right person you want to propose to them, you have to talk to the family, right? Because in some cases, some brothers will come to me, I found this sister, I'm afraid that if I propose, her family will reject me, I want to marry her in secret, behind her parents' back. And I say, this is not the best way to do it. You have to honor the family. They raised her, they did everything in their ability to make her a good person. Now you want to go to marry her in secret? This is disrespectful, man. I wouldn't allow it for my sister, you wouldn't allow it for your own sister, right? You have to go and talk to the family, try to convince them. If they said yes, alhamdulillah. If they said no, you know, there are millions of other sisters that you can marry. Alhamdulillah. Qadarullah, khalas. If they agree to engagement, for a lot of people, they think engagement is marriage. Engagement does not mean marriage. Engagement is something, it's a promise to consider marriage in the future. But it does not have any fiqhi consequences. However, as soon as they sign the marriage contract, they sign, they sign, whether they consummate the marriage or not, is a hasal dukhul aw lam yahsal, they become husband and wife before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the law. Even if they don't live together, they are husband and wife. In other words, as soon as the husband signs the contract, and so become the husband and wife, and the sister washes her face he has a heart attack, when he saw her, he dies, she will inherit him, and she will have iddah for 4 months and 10 days. Ittifaq among the scholars. Even they didn't give the chance to live together, no dukhla, no consummation of the marriage, she will give inheritance from him, she will observe iddah for him. Same thing. If she dies first, before consummation of the marriage, he will inherit her, and so on and so forth. There is no iddah for the husband, but he will inherit from his wife, right? But engagement, nothing, right? There is nothing there. Not by law, not by sharia, there is nothing there, right? So we have to keep this in mind, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the marriages successful and to give people the best in this life and the best in the life to come. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins, accept our good deeds, and give us the best in this life and the next and the life to come. And give us shafa'ah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and give us al-firdaus al-a'la. One quick announcement, inshallah. This Sunday, you will set your watches 1 hour back. So in the past we used to pray Dhuhr 1:30. From next week, after Sunday, it will be 12:30 inshallah. Jum'ah, we have a slight change to accommodate the school downstairs. First Jum'ah will be 12:30 for the first one. Second Jum'ah will be 1:30. We'll allow enough time in between inshallah for people to come and leave. This will make it easy for the students and for the classes, and it doesn't disrupt the school program. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.